Hey, do you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for Coach Lindy's podcast. The podcast to get you moving. Hi, I'm Lindy Hutchinson, a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. As a life coach, I help others transform their life as I have mine. It's not easy, but it is possible, and it most certainly is worth it. Each week, I'll share insights that inform, inspire, and ignite in you your desire to create a life that you love. So let's find out what's going on this week. Welcome to Coach Lindy's podcast. I am in beautiful Gold Beach, Oregon, and I was going to film on the beach, on the coast, which is absolutely delightful, but it's also noisy. So we won't be doing that today. So I'm enjoying your company in this beautiful place. Let me turn this a little bit. Oh, green. Ooh. Isn't that pretty? This is June of 2025. And right now, where I live in Northern California, it's very hot. And we do have green because we have evergreens. But it's not as lush and moist and beautiful as it is here in Oregon. And the temperatures, as you can tell by the fact that I'm wearing a jacket, are much cooler. It's in the 60s. At night, it drops down into the 40s. And it's chilly, which is nice for a change when Dave lives in Redding. And Redding is in the 90s. So it's nice to be in a cooler place. So it's really a message about being special and feeling unique and understanding how precious and valuable we are. This is going to be based largely on my biblical training and understanding that from our standpoint that we were created by God and that we are not alone. And oftentimes when we're in the middle of problems or we're dealing with situations that are difficult, we tend to feel very small and alone and very tried. And I was here enjoying all this beauty and thinking about how we are not alone. And though things can be trying, that we can tackle these things with the understanding that we have a God-given wisdom and perception, and we have all the basic qualities. That's why in the Bible, after God created man, he talks about making man in his image. No, we don't look like God. God is a spirit, so he doesn't have brown hair and blue eyes or whatever, nothing like that. But we have qualities. So we have wisdom, and we can think our way in and out of problems, as we've talked about on this podcast, and how we have the power, but we need to keep our anxiety and cares at bay, and that's how we access our greatest powers, our greatest knowledge, our greatest wisdom, our greatest ways of coping and dealing. When I was looking at the coast yesterday and started filming this today, I was thinking about a scripture. As you look at the beautiful coastline, a beautiful beach, and you see the sand and all the rocks. They have some really beautiful, like monument type rocks. But I was also thinking about how the Bible used in several places when they talk about a multitude or many or something that represents innumerable multitude. It talks about the sands of the sea or the sands of the seashore. It also the Bible also references the stars in the sky. And the psalmist talks about how God has named, he knows all of the stars by name. And yes, the stars actually do have names. But when you think about that, like if you ever watch Nova or any of those shows that deal with astronomy and the Earth and the scientific viewpoint of our universe. And it talks about how when man first started looking up at the sky, he would see bright lights and he thought those were stars, and some were. But as man's ability to look into that light, that tiny light in the sky, as our telescopes became more sophisticated and we began to understand and see and study more efficiently, we began to realize that that one star, that one light, was actually what they believed was a collection of stars. And then as they became more powerful with their telescopes and their understanding of the universe began to grow, they began to realize that that wasn't a collection of stars. They were looking at a galaxy. And as the telescopes became more powerful, they began to realize that they weren't looking, the light in the sky was actually many billions of galaxies. Let that sink in for a minute. A galaxy is, oversimplified, a collection, a group of like stars, planets, and it can have other bodies in it. But we went from looking at what we thought was a star to realizing no, it was multitudes, to realizing those weren't stars, those were galaxies, to understanding no, that wasn't a collection of in a galaxy, it was a collection of galaxies. So our mind really can't even stretch that far. The fact that we measure space, intergalactic travel in light years, and I believe a light year is 176,000 miles per second. 176,000 miles per second. That's fast, and that's a lot. So when they talk about hundreds of light years, you know, we get what I think the speed limit here is 70 miles per hour. And if you and I hopped on a jet and we flew to another city, I believe their cruising speed generally is about 600 miles per hour. Imagine 176,000 miles per second. That is how broad, how wide, how spacious the galaxy is. And the more they expand their exploration, they find more. They have not found the end of the universe yet. The more man searches, the more sophisticated his tools of exploration become. There is no end. And yet the scriptures talk about we are more valuable than the stars, or more precious than the grains of sand on the sea line, the coastline. God has named, he knows the number of the sand on the shoreline. He has all of those stars named. Jesus talked about how there isn't a sparrow that drops from the sky that dies and God isn't aware of it. He says, how much more precious are you? So the message is, even though we live in a huge, expansive universe, which is fantastic, even though there's all kinds of amazing creation, we are precious, we are unique, God is aware of us. So my takeaway to you today is you are valuable, you are loved, you are special. There's no one, there has been no one, there will be no one like you in the future. You are very special and dear. So take time today, if you can, enjoy beauty somewhere, and understand that you are valuable. Out of all the stars, out of all the multitudes of everything that we see, we are individuals, we are unique. So have a great week and enjoy your day and take care and keep building a life that you love because you deserve it. Bye-bye for now. Hey, thanks for joining me this week. I look forward to being with you every week. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, please email me at coachlindy@lindyhutchinson.com. My name is spelled Lyndi, so it's Coach Lindy, Lyndi, at Lindy Hutchinson, LYNDIHUTCHINSON.com. I value what your input is, and I'm always open for suggestions and ideas. If you will like and or subscribe to this podcast, that would be wonderful. I appreciate it. And I enjoy anything that you might want to send in, or if you would like some more information about coaching, send me an email and I will get back with you, and we'll talk about how you can create your best life. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.